Hello, friends from Lance. Wednesday, July 8th. Today there's no World Cup. Even my colleague Marcio Anaka over there is doing just like the people here in Central Park, just relaxing, right?
Yeah, I'm just relaxing because these are my last days, actually, my last hours in the United States. My participation here today is a special appearance in Marcio dos Anjos Bulletin, Duzan. That's why I'm not wearing the uniform shirt, just so we can talk a bit. We came here to New York to see if we could find any World Cup atmosphere, to bring you a little bit of the behind the scenes from the United States. But look, there's zero World Cup atmosphere in New York. The most we've seen are World Cup items on sale at 50% off. Yeah.
No, it's not expensive.
Some billboards are still related to the World Cup. Ochoa, the goalkeeper from Mexico, the Argentina national team on another, some players who have already been here, Vinny Jr. on one of them too. We went by a store specializing in sporting goods called Pele Sports, Pele Soccer there in Times Square too. Foot traffic was light there too, not many people looking for the World Cup. I think the host cities where the games will take place should be busier, right? Because now New Jersey and New York are only going to host the World Cup final. So we came here to Central Park to record my World Cup farewell to you, and Dozen will continue. He's leaving tomorrow for Miami to cover Norway and England at the Hard Rock Stadium.
Just a reminder that the Brazilian national team arrived in Rio de Janeiro early Wednesday morning, and it was a rather melancholic arrival, right? Only one player, right back Danilo, landed at Galeão, didn't want to talk and apologized, but he didn't want to speak. The one who spoke was the general coordinator of the men's national teams, Rodrigo Caetano. He repeated what he said after Brazil was eliminated on Sunday, that the next phase starts now. The goal is to work with stability, which was the only thing that didn't exist, or rather, one of the things that didn't exist in the 4 years or 3.5 years leading up to this World Cup. Carlo Ancelotti is fully confirmed to continue his work, having renewed his contract until 2030. Rodrigo Caetano also renewed his contract until 2030, and this was all before the World Cup. The national team will now start working, already looking ahead to the next cycle. There's a call-up in September, confirmed friendlies against Australia, with 2 matches in Australia and possibly more to come.
The national team has a FIFA international window for 4 friendlies.
It will be a different national team than the one we saw here.
It looks like Brazil will face an Asian team.
Here, the Brazilian national team won't match FIFA's.
We hope so, right? We hope to see a different team. Yeah, several players have ended their cycle here, including Danilo, who landed back in Brazil. We'll have a lot of new faces, especially at center back and fullback. I think the attack is the most defined part of the team, which has Hendrik, Estevam, João Pedro, Ryan, and Vinny Jr., who will be at the peak of his form at 29 years old. He must continue. He's under contract with Real Madrid until 2030. 2030, he renewed recently. Let's see if he really becomes the main player we thought he almost would be in this World Cup, because he did very well. But anyway, that's it. We're waiting for a more experienced team, a team with more mileage, a better organized team, a team that puts more pressure on the opponent, that doesn't just have 30% possession like it did. Remembering that the team finished in its second worst position in its history, right? So we need to improve a lot for the 2030 World Cup. Remembering that we have these commitments, and the first competition we're going to have will be the Copa America in 2028.
Probably in the United States. It's not confirmed yet, but everything indicates it will be once again in the United States, like the last one, like the Centennial Edition, possibly with 16 teams from all the Americas. Regarding the South American qualifiers, CONMEBOL still hasn't defined the format, right? It's worth remembering that Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay won't need to officially play in the qualifiers because they're already qualified for the next World Cup, because they're going to host the opening match, the Centenary World Cup. But information we've already been gathering is that possibly, again, it still needs to be approved, but possibly these 3 teams will continue to take part in the qualifiers, but just as participants. Yeah, just as partial participants. That happened with Brazil before the 2006 World Cup. It's worth remembering that Brazil had been world champion in 2002 and was already qualified for 2006 at the time, qualified to go straight through. And even so, Brazil played those qualifiers just to have a sequence of games, and well, that's it. As long as the 3 countries play in the qualifiers, there's no guarantee, however, that the format with 10 teams will be maintained. Carlos Calantarotti himself is not very much in favor of that. He hopes that a change in the format will be made because it's worn out. There are too many games. And remember, even with 10 teams, with 3 already qualified, it wouldn't be 6 spots up for grabs. It would probably be 3,
3 spots.
3.5, 3 direct spots, and 1 is for the playoffs. But all of this still needs to be approved by FIFA and by CONMEBOL. Regarding this World Cup, as we said, the atmosphere is like this, a calm atmosphere, midweek, Wednesday, no game. Yeah, and I also think, Marcianaka, that a lot of this is because of the elimination of the United States, right?
Also, the 3 host countries have already gone home, in quotes. The United States stayed here, Mexico and Canada, and big teams were also eliminated. Brazil, Germany, and so on. Now, the World Cup is between, for me, Spain and France are the 2 favorites there, along with Argentina and England. On this side, the side where Brazil would be, I think that side is more second tier. For me, the champion comes out of this matchup, the likely semifinal matchup between Spain and France.
By the way, did you like it? Not the qualification, since you didn't like that, but did you like Argentina's game this Tuesday?
So that's what I was saying yesterday during the live stream we were doing. I think the World Cup has been conspiring in Argentina's favor since the 2022 World Cup. Argentina keeps getting close to being eliminated, but ends up qualifying. Yeah, anyway, that's it. And then I see things that make me want to root even less for Argentina. That's just how it is as a fan. In a really ugly act involving an American influencer, yeah, making gestures, yeah, imitating a monkey. I always think that's really ugly. When I talk about Argentine soccer, tourists in Argentina are always warmly welcomed. It's a wonderful country. People always welcome us very well, yeah, but when we talk about soccer in Argentina, I think sometimes the Argentine fans go a little over the line. Not just a little, actually. They go way over the line when it comes to cheering, you know? He crosses that line, and that's something that really bothers me. In general, because usually I've been to Argentina a few times as a tourist, but every time I went there for soccer, for work, I witnessed scenes that I wouldn't want any human being to witness.
That's it, yeah. The World Cup returns this Thursday. France and Morocco will be the first to open the quarterfinals of the World Cup. Lance will be in Miami on Saturday to cover England and Norway. It was supposed to be Brazil and England. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. It didn't work out again. But Lance will keep providing information until the World Cup ends. Not as well as when I was in the company of my colleague Marcianak, but I promise to do my best to bring you all the information. And you know that the World Cup with Marcianaka or without Marcianaka is just like that.